Welcome. I'm your host, Maya Urban, the Urban Healer. I'm a life coach, Reiki master, Akashic record reader, and registered nurse. Hello, and welcome to the Discover Your Joy podcast. My name is Maya Urban, and today I have a very special guest, one of my favorite humans ever, one of my besties, and the astrologer I see always, the one and only Kait Fowlie. Welcome to the show. I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a joy to speak with you, and I'm so glad to be here
So
again.
again, yes, you're going to be one of those people I like repeat all the time because I just love the F out of you. So you better love me back because you have no choice.
Always, undyingly so.
Excellent. All right. So for today, what we wanted to do was discuss our life lessons over the last 6 months because, whoa, 2023 is done halfway. And I think it's an important moment for us to take a hot second and reflect. Like we're finishing Q1, Q2, we're entering into the last two parts of the year. And it's just like, take a moment. Like, what has gone well? What has not gone well? What are some of those lessons? What did you learn? And Kate and I are going to share our lessons. We're going to get intimate and let you know what's come up for us. And then hopefully that sparks something for you guys, inspires you. And that is that.
Yay.
Alrighty,
What a
my
good
love.
idea. It's
Go
a
first. What was
perfect
one of your
time to do this.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
What was your
All right.
first lesson?
So my first lesson of the last 6 months is that this is related to business in particular. So the more that I show up, the more I make connections and the more growth I open up to. It's so simple and it's actually so easy to overthink how we're showing up. But when I just do it, when I show up, when I go on a live, or when I show up for a client, when I do the thing, when I hop on the call, when I do the things that feel like they put me in vulnerable positions or whatever, even to like that part of my mind that's like, we're safe, we're fine, like we got this. Like when I just push through that, then I open up to so much learning and so much growth. And like it's just always worth it. And we don't need to overthink it. So I think that over the last 6 months, I've just learned that it's okay to be imperfect and it's okay to show up imperfectly and just be fully present. I think it's really easy to underestimate just the value of being fully present
I love that.
in and of itself. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like people like when you're imperfect because it's relatable. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they can like
Yeah.
connect to that. It's like real, it's authentic. Like
Yeah.
it's triggering sometimes when people are like too perfect. And then you're just like, are you?
Well, yeah. Yeah. And there's such a magic that can happen when you just don't have a perfect plan, don't have a script, don't have notes, whatever. You can
Yep.
just say whatever you want. And I think that feels really good. That felt
Yep.
really good over months.
I love that. And I also just love you. So just like show up all the time because the world
Oh,
loves your spark. Awesome. My first lesson is it's not supposed to make sense. And this is kind of funny because I mean, I feel like a lot of massive transitions have happened for me over the last 6 months. And a lot of the decisions I've made have not made sense to other people. And I've definitely been called out. Like some people a little harshly, some people kindly, but people just being like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Like, what are you doing? Are you sure? Are you sure? This seems like erratic. This seems like a big change. Like, are you making the right decision? You should think about it. And that's almost become like my determining factor and a reminder that I'm in the right place because the more I'm triggering people with my decisions, the more I know I'm doing what's right for me and I'm not trying to be like people pleasing and I'm not trying to do what everyone else is doing and I'm also just keeping my like eyes on my own lane, my own journey and I'm like it's
yeah.
not supposed to make sense to you. It's my journey and it's like you don't know what's happening like inside of me and like what my actual goals are. Like I don't share everything. So then like of course it's not going to make sense. So the more people that are like, fuck are you doing? The more I'm like, amazing. You just confirmed I'm in the right place.
Oh, boom. Boom. So true. Of course that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of course, someone who doesn't have your values will be like, wow, that's odd. Why are you doing that? You don't
Because
have
I'm
to
odd.
know. because I want to. Imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
And it's also like, I don't want a life like everyone else. Like my life is very
Yeah.
different. So then it's like,
Yeah.
if I were doing all the things you're doing, it's not going to take me to the different place that I want and desire and crave. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
thank you for your input. And I've also like, that was like kind of like my inner work to make peace with people not agreeing with my decisions. And then also like making me question things. But then now I'm like, oh, you don't agree with it? Fantastic. Thanks so much.
Mhm.
Carry on. Like it does not trigger me at all. Like I'm just like, yes, I'm doing it differently. Correct. Anything else? Yeah. Cool. Moving on. So
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful life lesson for a Libra rising, from one Libra rising to another, like
yeah.
being confident in our decisions, knowing that our decisions are ours and ours alone is for us in this life. It's a big one, right?
Yeah.
So feeling strong in that is, it shows some real wisdom and maturity, I think, on your part.
Thank you.
Doing
Oh,
it great.
so good. Okay. What
All
else
right.
came up for you?
Next one for me is that it's really important, I think, for me to be, for all of us, I think, to be one step ahead of ourselves when it
Mhm.
comes to our goals. So thinking about, okay, so once I achieve that goal, once I achieve the income goal or the achievement, get the thing that I want, achieve the relationship that I want, whatever it is, like, then what am I going to do with it? Like, what's the actual reason that I want that? Knowing that nothing outside of us, no like tangible thing that we claim is going to allow us to like be that person. Like, we're going to be the same us when we get there. So, how do we actually want to just live? And, what do we want to actually be kind of thing. So I think just knowing, what do I actually want to do with this achievement is helpful for just getting there quicker and in
Yeah,
more easeful way.
totally. And I feel like also we're quick to jump to what we want and desire, but then it's like the universe is like, where's your container? Where do you want me to put it? Oh, you want $100,000? Beautiful. Do you have an account set up for savings? Have you talked to a
Yeah.
financial planner? And it's like, I want my dream partner. And it's like, is there space in your closet? No. Are you in a single bed?
Yeah. You got to get ready for that.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You got to,
Yep. Ooh. See,
yeah.
like simple but good. And these are like the reminders. Oh, I love that. Amazing. So my next one is you have to trust your gut. For me, TMI, all of you, when things are off, I get constipated and I also get cranky. And obviously your nervous system is deeply tied to your digestive tract. So the moment that I feel like a little bit shaken, triggered, I'm not really taking care of myself, I can't poop. I hold on to my poop. Amazing. Anal retention right here, literally. And then I know. It's like, so the moment my digestion is like thrown off, I get bloated or like I'm not pooping, I'm literally like, cool, check yourself. What am I not doing? How am I not taking care of myself? How am I not setting boundaries? How am I not like taking care of me and like even just kind of like letting myself down? And like that's almost like the number one way my body's kind of like, yo, bitch, I don't like what you're doing. Please and thank you, pay attention to me. And then I was like, okay, okay. So rather than like being angry and resentful of it, which I was for a very long time because it's uncomfortable, I'm kind of like, what can I do differently? And not a like eat differently, drink more water. It's not that. It's always like, where's your mindset? Where's your schedule? Where are your routines? Where's your structure? Where are you like not in alignment with your truest self? And the moment I like clean that up, it's like, ta-da! And I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The body will tell us what's
Yeah.
up. It'll
Yeah.
tell us. And I think
Quietly or loudly. Mm-hmm.
yeah, for sure. And it's funny, like, even the colloquialisms around certain things like will be so expressive, like you just said, like anal retentive, like I'm holding on to stress. It's like that like reflected in your anus, like you
Yeah.
will receive that feedback in your body. Or like if there's like someone that's a pain
Yeah.
in your neck, or
Yeah. Yeah.
all those things, I think we
Yeah.
can understand a lot about
Yeah.
what's really going on when we just look at
Yeah.
where we're feeling our body, where we're really feeling
Absolutely.
aware of it. And
And like
yeah,
I literally like
yeah,
feel like there's like hands like holding on to like my intestines, being like, listen to me. Why aren't you listening to me? And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? And then the moment I take care of whatever is like triggering me, it's like, okay. And I was like, oh God, this is awful. Also, not
Yeah.
keep in mind the things people didn't think they're going to get on this podcast. You're welcome.
All things health, mind, body, soul.
Amen.
All right.
Amazing. Okay.
My third one is that you cannot hack divine timing. You
Mhm.
cannot do it. There is divine timing is real. The universe has its own plan for us and its own timeline. And when we try and rush that, or when we're resisting it, the natural flow of things, that's just how to make life so challenging. And we don't
Yep.
want that. So
Yep.
this goes for literally everything. The way to be in ease and the way to be in flow is to just allow divine timing to run its course. Like there's certain things that we just have to accept, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like also you're like second guessing the universe. And the universe is like, oh yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like check yourself. And it's like
Yeah.
it's so interesting because it's like, and it like it totally makes sense, but we don't think about this. It's like, are you ready for your dream partner? Are you ready to get into a relationship and like
Yeah.
maybe be married in a year? Are you ready for like your child? Is your relationship ready to have a child? Are your finances ready for that? And it's like
Yeah.
if you can't manage like 10 grand, the universe is not going to give you $1 million. I mean, lottery winners
Yeah.
are being poorer than they were before because they didn't
Right.
have that capacity.
Yeah. Like
Exactly.
sometimes
Yeah.
you have experiences so that you can have other experiences. You need to like acquire certain wisdom
Yeah.
before you are able to like do the thing that you want to do, basically. So yeah, just
Totally.
like you, how are
Totally.
you going to know how to manage like a certain sum of money if you can't even manage one sum?
Yep. 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 And that's actually perfect because the next thing I was going to say was you need to stretch your nervous system to receive the good. And it's
Mhm.
like, it sounds so counterintuitive because like most people come to me in terms of one-on-one coaching, being like, these are the things that aren't working. These are like my traumas and triggers and da da da. And then it's like, we can get rid of those, but can you handle the good? And most people can't because like we're used to heartbreak and struggling and pain and the like suffering and like we're used to that and our brain is actually programmed for that. Like our nervous system's always looking for the bad to keep us safe and like make sure it doesn't happen again. But we're not used to having good on top of good. Like that is scary. And like how
Yeah.
often do you hear people say like, well, when is the other shoe going to drop? I'm sorry, I'm keeping both my shoes. Like, no shoes dropping. Like, it's not. But then for you to like reprogram yourself and actually like make peace with the bad things that did happen, like, you need to be good with the good. And especially when you're in like a huge transition zone where you're like quantum leaping, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, my business is where I want it to be, my personal life is where I want it to be, and like they're both thriving. You're just like, whoa, can I do this? Yes, you can. But you need to really lean into that stretch factor. And it's like, from what I said earlier, of like, do you have a container to hold that? And then like
Yeah.
check your thinking and mindset. Like, are you consistently saying, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so busy? The universe is not going to bring you more if you're literally telling the universe, please don't. So can you handle the good?
Yeah, that's been a huge lesson for me too over the last 6 months. Can you handle the good stretching to allow it? I made like the biggest investment of my life over the last 6 months. I think when we did this
Yep.
at the start of the year, we talked about our goals for the first half of the year or just 2023. And I talked about my goal of buying a house. So I actually like bought a house over the last 6 months and stretching. Thank you. Yeah, stretching to hold more and hold the good has been a challenge over the
Yeah.
last 6 months.
Yeah.
Trusting myself
Yeah.
to be able to do that. It takes a lot of attention to that and focus.
Yeah. And actually, it's really funny because I'm obsessed with James Wedmore, as we've talked about this. One
Yeah.
of the things that he said on one of his coaching calls was you need to like stretch in order to like take away the charge of money in terms of being able to hold more of it. So initially, like let's say you're buying like a $5 million house, that's like triggering. And also most people don't have $5 million, but you have to like stretch yourself to the point where it's like you're almost buying like a bottle of water and you're like, yeah, okay, thanks, here you go. And then it doesn't like mean anything. But
Yeah.
then that's like a lot of the, I mean, you're also not going to go from a bottle of water to a $5 million house, obviously. just to, just disclosure. Like once I figure out that quantum leap, I'll let you know. It does still take a little bit of time to be able to like not be triggered by that. And like I know for me, especially over the last couple months, I worked with a big ass coach and it was the most money I've ever spent for like a tiny package. I was like, what am I doing? And it's like I would have never done that in the past, but then I was like, no, no, I want to work with her. This is important to me. I'm investing in it. And I was like, yeah, here you go, paid, done. And I would have not been able to do that before. So I was like, okay, cool, cool. I'm stretching. Cool, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That in and of itself is something to be proud of,
Yeah.
right?
Thank you.
Yeah. It's huge. It's a skill. It's a skill. And like investing, yeah, investing in yourself is so important to do if you want to grow. It just is. And that
Yeah.
brings me to my question, actually. So I have, this is actually a lesson. So I've literally never regretted an investment that I made in myself, whether it's a article of clothing that makes me feel the way I want to feel or a course basically. And it's really important to remember that and remind ourselves of that as we're feeling that lead up, that tension to, should I do it? Should I not? At the
Mhm.
very end day, either you learn from something that doesn't go as you thought it would, and then you're like so much wiser on the other side of it. Okay, maybe we're going to try something different next time, or that's actually what I was thinking. And that wasn't, I see, why I made that decision. A lot of clarity can come from making a decision that doesn't work out as we
Mhm.
wanted it to. And
Yes.
if it goes great, then amazing. You're going to expand and shoot up to your next level in quantum time. So
Yeah.
deciding basically that every decision that we make is a good one is like, whew, that's the key learning, I think, for me over the last six
Mhm.
months. Like every
Love
decision
that.
that we, it's a good one. It's great.
No, it's so good. I love that. And it's interesting because I had one of my coaches also say, um, the the client's transformation isn't up to you. You can't force a transformation. You can't decide how big their transformation is. One, are they ready for it? And what is their container, right? But then
Yeah.
also it's what they get out of it and what they choose to get out of it. And it's like, for example, my last relationship, hot mess. Oh my God, nightmare. Thank God it happened because the amount of healing I went through because of that, like I couldn't have gotten that anywhere else. Now, like, do I want to repeat it? Never again. Thank you. But it's like I got what I needed out of it and I've made peace with that and it wasn't wasted time or whatever, whatever. So it's like whatever you get what you want out of it. And sometimes it's not comfortable, but that's just humaning.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I love that.
So good. My next one is consistency is everything. And I feel like I talk about this quite often as well, but I feel like every person needs that reminder, as do I. And this is especially important when things are good. And you're like, and like I know so many of us do this. It's like you're on this beautiful routine, you're structured, everything's good, and then you're feeling good. So you're like, I'm not gonna meditate today. It's all good. I don't need this. Breath work, I'll just do it once a week. Oh, whatever. Like my workout classes, it's fine. I'm like walking a lot, sure. And then all of a sudden you don't notice that your cup is emptying. And then all of a sudden you like just hit this like burnout esque place, not necessarily a huge burnout, but things just really feel off. So it's like when you're on that high of things are going good and you're not replenishing, you're like, you're gonna wear out faster and you just don't notice. So it's like
Yeah.
you have to have the consistency. That's also going to be what builds your resilience. So in case you
Yeah.
do get thrown a curveball, then you're not going to be thrown off course so much because you're not just starting. And it's like I know for me, like I started meditating when I like called off my wedding, which was not an ideal time to like sit in your thoughts. Like it was uncomfortable. Highly
Mhm.
recommend having like a meditation practice, not when life is falling apart,
Yeah.
a little bit before. And it's like whatever the healing practice is, but it's like do it. And it's like even if you're on holidays, and it's like I just came back from Italy a few weeks ago, I was not good with my practices, and I was like everything's good, everything's good, everything's good. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, that just like caught up with me. And it's like you can have like a shorter version of it, but it's like you still need to do your self-care regularly. Like, and I mean, this is the way I always
Yeah.
look at it in terms of like energy and healing. Even if things don't look dirty, they are. Like, even if you're not making a bathroom dirty, you're gonna have to clean your bathroom. Like, you have no choice. Like, you're gonna have to clean the floors. Like, even if you're like, but I took my shoes off, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to clean it regularly. Otherwise, you're gonna be like, oh my God, where do I live? So take care of
Yeah.
your vessel, your home, and do the consistent healing, whatever that means for you.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And that doesn't mean that it needs to look the same every
Oh,
day or take place
mhm.
at the certain time every day, but bring your awareness to what you need every day and give that yourself and just be continuing to be mindful of that. Or else you're gonna come up on a moment that knocks you down and you're not
Yeah,
gonna be able to get for a
absolutely.
long time. So
It's like doing a little bit every day adds up to so much more than
yeah.
doing like a big overhaul. You know what I mean? Like,
Ah,
but we make it so complicated. Like, it's just like, just do 10 minutes of fucking breath work. Like, don't tell me you don't have 10 minutes. You were just on Instagram for 40. Like, shut up. You have time.
yeah, a little goes a long way. It's really easy to overestimate how much we need, but sometimes
Yeah,
we need more. But
yeah,
when you keep it consistent, a little
yeah,
can go a long way. Keep you going.
absolutely. Mm.
Yeah.
And what
My
is
final
that?
two lessons.
Mhm,
Um, this is an ongoing that I continue to learn in my life all the time.
mhm.
As a Libra rising, maybe it comes up for me a lot. Boundaries
Yeah.
are everything. My
Mhm,
energy and vitality is all I have, especially doing this work as a business owner in the esoteric arts. But yeah, my energy is everything. And if I don't work to keep it feeling the way that I want to feel and keep my cup full, then yeah, I don't have my focus. I don't have my power. I don't have my magic. And that's everything.
mhm,
That's the foundation of everything. So, again, I guess kind of in the realm of like consistency, bringing my awareness to that every day.
mhm.
Big learning of the ones.
Beautiful. Love that. My
Yeah.
next one is nature is so healing and nature's medicine. And it's like we overcomplicate things and sometimes like you just need the simple things. For anyone who doesn't know, I recently moved from downtown Toronto to the country and it's like everything's just better. And like I need less. Like I used to have so many other like healing modalities, so many appointments, so many this and that. And now it's like I don't need that. It's like stand in the grass barefoot, like walk into the lake, like stand near a tree or go forest bathing, like go play with a farm animal. Like it's like yesterday I just like played with a goat. Like what? Just a random goat. I'm like, where did you come from, you angel? And it's like things are just so much easier. And it's like even just like I'm buying like my eggs where I can like see the chickens and it's from like a family in the like little village I live in. I'm like, what is my life? And it's just so simple and beautiful. But then I'm like so fulfilled. Like I'm like so much happier. I'm sleeping better. Like my skin feels better. And like it's just like everything just feels so much more in alignment. And I like didn't realize how much city life was affecting me. And even though
Mhm.
like I had a beautiful courtyard and there was grass and like I always used to like step into the grass, I mean, terrified, but did it in the city. And it's like not the same. And it's like just I feel so much more in tune with my body and in terms of creativity. And like things are just like clicking in a different way where I'm like, oh, I needed more nature, not more healing. Got it. And sometimes you don't notice until you're out of it because when you're in it, that's just what you think life is.
Oh, yeah. Nature, man. It's the great mother, the great healer, the battery charger. That's
Yeah,
it. That's
so
it.
good. Mm, love
Huge.
that.
All right, my last one. My last one feeds into my overall intention for the next 6 months as well. So, when reality fails us, when life,
Mhm.
muggle life, fails us or isn't going as we want it to go, and it seems like nothing is working out, then that's when a little bit of delusion a little bit of imagination and a little bit of suspending our disbelief can be really, really helpful and actually really practical. So this is my intention for the next 6 months, to invite in more of a magical way of thinking about how things can possibly go. And like just reminding myself that I don't need to know the how. Like I really don't need to know how things are going to work out. And that it's probably better if I don't, because, then I'm going to get somewhere that I've never been or that's not predictable. Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The
Yeah.
how is none of your business.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, why are you going to second guess the universe's greater plan for you? And it's like your 3D humanness can't even see the endless possibilities that are out there for you. So why are you cock blocking abundance? It's just like you got to like surrender and just receive. I mean,
Yeah.
with structure and like taking inspired
Yeah.
action, da 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 da. But it's like you can't micromanage that shit. Like you need to like let it go because what's
Exactly.
coming is better than you could have imagined.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay, so my last one I feel like ties in with yours of whatever you desire is already yours, and your inner world is obviously going to reflect your outer world. So, like, let it just be. Like, if you know it's yours, it's coming. And like, I talk about like Amazon Prime, like you order something, like you're not gonna like micromanage and keep checking and then call Amazon. Amazon's like, it's coming. Like you have like no fear about that. You just like, I want this, put it in your cart, pay, click, done. And then you just know it's coming. There's no stress there. So it's like if you put in your order with the universe of what you want and desire, and you are actively doing the work and like keeping your container open, clear, ready to receive. You're doing the inner work with like, am I worthy of receiving that? Of course I am. Then it's coming. And it's like, whatever's yours is yours. So it's like, there's no reason to be triggered by other people having things you want and desire. That wasn't for you. Why do you want that? That's not yours. What's yours is yours. It's coming. And it's like, it takes away that like rushing energy. And it also like leans into abundance as opposed to like scarcity. And it also just like creates space. And it's like, it's hard for you to receive when you're in like that anxious, like thirst energy. Like that's not a inviting energy. Like you're not magnetic. And it's like, okay, it's coming. And if it's coming, then why am I stressed? Because I know it's coming and I know I'm worthy of receiving it. And I know it's going to be better than I anticipated. So it's like, where's the stress? There is no stress. It's fucking coming. And that kind of like ties in with like divine timing. It's like, it's
Yeah.
coming. May it be so and so it is, period, done. Like, cool,
Yeah.
awesome. I'm going to go have fun and play with a goat now.
Yeah.
That's
Why
it.
not?
I mean, it'd be rude not to.
Gorgeous lessons, my friend.
Oh, so good. Okay. So, my love, tell us a little bit about what's happening in astrology, in the stars. What are the plot twists? Like, when should we be more mindful? I'm always like scared of certain seasons. So, like, what's
No.
going on?
Well, your season is coming up, Leo season. I'm
So
excited
all
for
of
you.
you should be scared because I'm about to go buck wild.
As a Leo should. It is your time to go buck wild.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to the astrology of the second half of the year. Pretty much the first half of the year was when most of the action took place. So we have a little bit of an easier ride, I guess, over the next 6 months. Less change, less tumultuous energy, less challenges. And it's really just about ultimately over the next 6 months, sort of like taking what was initiated in the last 6 months and really stabilizing it and coming into like consistency with it. The biggest month of the next 6 months is July. This is the biggest month, I would
We're
say.
here, folks. We're here.
Yeah, Leo season is big. So we have two of the main highlights of 2023 coming up towards the end of this month. And really, that's like the biggest moment of the next 6 months, apart from eclipse season, which happens later in October. But let's talk about the two highlights of July. Um, One is the lunar nodes of destiny switching signs that happens on July 17th and takes us through until January 11th, 2025. So the lunar nodes of destiny, the north and south node, basically are moving from Taurus and Scorpio, where they've been for the last 18 months. So for all of us in two particular areas of our life, the houses in our chart ruled by Taurus and Scorpio have been like hotspots for faded change and activity. The North Node is a symbol of growth and increase and like more coming into our life. And the South Node is all about clearing, refining, paring down, releasing. So we've all been welcoming more into a certain area of our life, the house ruled by Taurus, and clearing in another area of our life, the house ruled by Scorpio, over the last 18 months. So July 17th, we wrap up that chapter of faded growth and transformation, healing and expansion, and move now into a new cycle of that. And that's in Aries and Libra. So a big time moving forward for Libra placements and Aries placements. But for all of us with the North Node moving into Aries, we are all stepping into a new 18-month chapter of going all in with being ourselves, with putting ourselves first and like stepping into the brand of leadership, the type of leadership that like we were born to step into. And we all have our own unique way of being leaders in the world and being trailblazers in the world. That's very Aries energy. And the next 18 months is really gonna urge us, the universe will be nudging us to do that and to put ourselves first and not care what other people think. We're leading away from, Libra shadows, which can be, doing things because we think other people want us to do it, acquiescing to others, taking the road well traveled. We're really leaning into more of a courageous, self-oriented next 18 months. And that starts on July 17th. So you and I as Libra risings, we're in the hot spot. We're in the hot seat right here with this one.
Well, I had my Scorpio moon. I definitely got put through the ringer over the last 18 months.
Yeah, the Scorpio moon for sure. That would have been,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, certainly the May 5th eclipse in Scorpio would have been a big one for you. Really.
Another vacation.
Yeah. The second highlight of July comes on July 22nd, and it is when Venus turns retrograde in Leo. So Venus is going to be retrograde. My girl, you are in the hot seat over the next 6 months.
Aren't I always though? Like, have you ever been like, you get to just relax? It's always like, Tamaya, buckle up. Like, every time, Kate.
We all have this energy happening somewhere in our chart, right? So it's all going down for all of us. Nobody's getting out of here alive. Nobody's safe from this. So Venus is going to be retrograde in Leo from July 22nd until September 3rd. So Venus represents our values, money, relationships, and turning retrograde in the sign of Leo, confidence, leadership, audacity, self-expression, the heart, brings an opportunity for us to just bring our deeper awareness to how we're showing up. Are we showing up and being seen the way that we want to be seen, in a way that feels good for us, in a way that really feels aligned with our values? This is an awesome time to just, notice any ways that don't feel in an alignment, that might feel driven by ego, or just, reassess how we're like actually visually making ourselves able to be perceived by the world. But ultimately, the house that is ruled by Leo in your chart is where you are going to be basically just bringing your deeper awareness to your values and making sure that area of your life is aligned with your values. This could be really, really helpful for rebranding, reassessing, whatever it is. Yeah.
Feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Anything else we need to be aware of? I mean, eclipse season's always fun times, or maybe another F word.
Yeah. Late in October, we won't have to worry about eclipse season until then. But this is kind of a big eclipse season because it's the first real full eclipse season that brings eclipses on the Aries and Libra axis. So again, the seeds that we're kind of planting around change, July 17th, when the nodes switch signs, are going to be like fully manifest by the end of October.
Okay.
With these
Beautiful.
eclipses. Yeah.
Whew, always good times. And I feel like
That's
Leo
what's up.
season's always just wild. So I mean, like, I'm here for it.
Mhm.
Okay, let's do this. I love it. Okay, my
Yeah.
love. One more big question for you, and this is super important, so think clearly.
Okay.
What brings you joy? I've asked you this before, but life changes and things change. So, what is bringing you the most joy right now?
What's bringing me the most joy right now is honestly being with my sister. She's visiting from Sydney right now, and
Okay.
I am so happy to have her here. It feels so good. I am just really grateful for her presence in my life in like the physical reality right now. She hasn't been in Canada for like 2 years. So
Yeah,
it's really to like have family time right now. It's really something
yeah.
that I am just so, so grateful for. These are precious
Mm,
moments, that we have together. So I'm loving that right now.
amazing. I love that. Now, the other question that's really important, how do people find you, connect with you? What are some things that you're offering right now? Brag, please. And if you don't,
Thank
I'll do it.
So you can find me at kaitfowlie.com, KAITFOWLIE.com. All of my offerings are on there. My books are open for July if you want a tarot or an astrology reading. I certainly do offer those. But something that I'm really excited about right now is my new program, which is launching officially on July 8th. Uh, it is called Lunar Rites of Past, and it's all about working with the shifting of the lunar nodes of destiny to Aries Libra. So bringing us to step into our purpose and our power in program is all about like helping you do that, helping you understand what the invitation is for you and how you can do it with ease and grace. So we start on July 8th, and that's what's up for me right now.
Love that. That's amazing. Oh, I adore you. I love this little powwow. And obviously we're gonna do this again at the end of the year because at this point it'd be rude if we didn't. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for showing up. Thank you for being in my life always. Honestly, Kate is one of my like pillars of strength and has been for years. So I love, 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 and appreciate you. And I'm glad I get to share some of your magic with my listeners. Everyone follow her, book her. I really recommend. 5-star review, 2 thumbs up, plus plus. Love you, love
Like,
you, love you. Thank
thank you
you.
for having me.
My pleasure. Stay tuned. She'll be back and let us know what you think about the show. Reach out to us, share what came up, and thank you for being here. For ways to work with me, visit theurbanhealer.ca.